Hello, boys and girls. Thank you for joining us for our music lesson today. Today, we are going to learn a rhythmic poem about apples. So the first thing that I want you to do is you're just going to listen to the poem. You're just going to listen to the poem. And in the poem, I would like you to tell me if you can hear two things that describe what the apples taste like. In the poem, I want you to listen for two things that might describe what the apples taste like. Are you ready? All right, let's go. You are listening. Apples by Helen H. Moore. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead. When they ripen, down they drop, so we can taste our apple crop. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead. And when they ripen, down they drop, so we can taste our apple crop. All right, so boys and girls, go ahead and tell me two things that describe what the apples taste like. All right, very good. I saw or heard in the poem that the apples could taste both sweet and the apples could taste tart. So sweet is kind of more like a sugar, kind of a sweet, and tart is kind of more maybe like a lemon. It's the thing when you bite into the apple and it kind of goes a little bit like that. It kind of gets back here in your mouth and it kind of makes you, ooh, just a little bit tart. But that's what makes apples so good. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is I'm going to say the poem again. You're not going to say anything. You're going to listen, but also you're going to try to tap the steady beat. Tap the beat, tap the beat. Try it with me, tap the beat. Steady beat, never changes. Steady beat, steady beat. So you're going to tap the steady beat with me. Now remember, steady beat is kind of like when you're walking. Now, when you're walking, your feet always hit the ground at the same time. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Or you could be running and going really fast, but your feet are still hitting the ground at the same time or at the same rate. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? So usually in music, the steady beat stays at the same rate. Boom, bum, 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 bum. So this time you're just going to listen and you're going to tap the steady beat. Here we go. Steady beat, clap with me. Steady beat, clap with me. Listening, steady beat. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead, and when they ripen, down they drop, so we can taste our apple crop. Okay, very good. So this time, I'd like you to say it with me and keep the steady beat. Here we go. Steady beat, steady beat. Nice and even, steady beat. Steady beat, steady beat. 1, 2, say with me. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead. And when they ripen, down they drop, so we can taste our apple crop. Keep that steady beat going. Keep that steady beat going. 1, 2, try again. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead, and when they ripen, down they drop, so we can taste our apple crop. Ah, very good. Okay, boys and girls, so we have learned our poem Apples. Make sure that you, if you need to, go back and try it again and practice so you can say with the video and with the steady beat, and then we're going to move on. So if you need to pause right now and go back and see this part of the video again to practice so you can do it nice and even, nice and even, nice and even with me. So you can do that steady beat and say it, go back and practice again. Okay? But now we're going to move on. So if you need to pause, go ahead and pause and go back and do it again so you can practice. All right. So now we're going to move on and we are going to, well, I think what I'm going to do is this. I think I'm going to clap something a little bit different. Maybe you can help me at home. Okay? So you're going to do the steady beat at home and I am going to be clapping a different beat when we're reading apples. I would like for you to tell me what is different about the steady beat that you're clapping and the rhythm that I am clapping while reading apples. So if you can say it with me, that's great. I would like you to try to keep the steady beat. Okay? Keep the steady beat at home. So I'm getting the steady beat going for you, and your steady beat is just going to keep going. Just going to keep going. Steady beat, your steady beat keeps going. I'm going to clap a different beat to reading apples. You keep the steady beat. Here we go. Keep it steady. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead. And when they ripen, down they drop so we can taste our apple crop. Okay, let's see how that worked. So I want you to think for a second, what was different about steady beat, steady beat, steady beat, steady beat? And what I was clapping, apples, apples, what a treat, sweet and tart and good to eat. Okay, so think about that for a few seconds, and then you're going to tell me what the difference is between the two. Okay, go ahead and tell me. Okay, great idea. Yes, that steady beat, there seems to be less of the steady beat compared to apples, apples, what a treat, sweet and tart and good to eat. It seems like there are fewer of the steady beats than there are for apples, apples, what a treat, sweet and tart and good to eat. Okay, so there is one difference. Could you come up with another difference? Okay, that's another idea. So one thing is that there was less of them, steady beat, and then apples, apples, what a treat. So one thing is that it seemed to be like there was less steady beat than apples, apples, what a treat. It also seemed to be, it sounds like the steady beat is slower than apples, apples, what a treat, sweet and tart and good to eat. And if you guess that, then you are right, that it sounds like there is a faster rhythm, which is just the pattern of the words. Apples, apples, what a treat, sweet and tart and good to eat. Okay, so it seems like there's less of them, and it seems like, more of them, and it seems like they are moving faster. Okay, so in rhythm, or in music, the pattern of these words and what they sound like, we are going to call rhythm. Okay, so we're just going to call them rhythm. Let's learn some of this rhythm. What I will do is I will clap the rhythm and say the words, and then when I go like this, you're going to do it right back to me so we can practice. So I will clap the rhythm first, and then when I go like this, you're going to say it right back to me. Here we go. So it's my turn first. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead. And when they ripen, down they drop, so we can taste our apple crop. Okay, very good. Now let's try to do the whole thing from the top. Okay, we're going to clap the rhythm, which is just the sound of the words. 1, 2, ready, go. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead. And when they ripen down, they drop so we can taste our apple crop. Very good. Let's see if we can do the whole thing again. I'll say 1, 2, ready, go, and we will clap the rhythm. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Apples, apples, what a treat. Sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green and apples red hang from branches overhead. And when they ripen down, they drop so we can taste our apple crop. Oh, very good. Okay, boys and girls, thanks for joining me for this part of our lesson. Make sure that you check out all of the slides in this lesson so you can complete your music for the week. All right, see you next time.